matters right now are the whims of our special guest.
Hi friends, I'm Inu and today I will be doing an in-depth review of WWE 2k24. Initially I had done a quick review which was kind of bad, but today after playing the game for 5 whole days for around more than 50 hours, I will do an in-depth review of every aspect of the game. Like you can see, I have Brock Lesnar in the game, and this is a special guest referee match where I'm fighting with superstar Billy Graham, and Demon Finn Balor is the referee. And that Finn Balor model is a hidden model that was uploaded to the community by Legendary What's His Status. So I'll just quit this match and I'll just explain how I'll review this game. So there are certain factors in the game that I'll review individually. MyFaction, MyGM, MyRise, Universe mode, Showcase mode, the roster, community creations, match types, gameplay, and overall. So I'll just go on to every topic and I'll explain how good or bad it is. So starting with MyFaction. Now MyFaction this year, they had promised quite a few unlockables that will be available in the once you unlock them in MyFaction mode, they will be playable in every other mode. Like I have already unlocked the John Cena, the 2009 Sheamus, and a few other characters. But then this mode is still very cumbersome. Say if you just go to the challenges, the challenges, they are pretty cumbersome. They are pretty cumbersome, and it will take a lot of time to unlock something, a superstar, which can again be downloaded from the community creations with a bit of tweaking. Because say they are promising to give us a Seth Rollins, the Shield version of the Seth Rollins. Okay, the only additional thing that we'll be getting from that is the entrance, maybe the Twin Trons and all. Because apart from that, that version of the Seth Rollins can easily be created through the community creations. Now, I already had my files corrupted and all my saves were gone, so 2K has compensated for the same with 2 bonus packs for me. So let me open and see who all I get. Crap, never mind. And yes, I will open another pack, and this has Roman Reigns, I think. Okay, Harley Race, and this bonus is Roman Reigns. So this is how I communicate. I was compensated, like, and I'm sure many others like me were. But on the whole, this online play, I had played a couple of matches. I have won a couple of matches as well. But the thing is, there is a little bit of fraction millisecond lag still in the game. Like in the offlines, it's very fluid. In this online modes, that little bit of delay actually makes reversals very difficult. So it's like it's all dependent on luck if your thing will be reversed or not. And the same kind of precision that you have in the offline version, it's not there in the online version. So for me, the leaderboards and all, though they are nice additions, but this online mode is still not at par with the offline mode. So MyFaction, I don't think. And also if you can go to the, say they release a Persona card and I want to buy it off the card market directly, and as you can see, these cards are pretty expensive. I mean, they are not cheap, right? They're not cheap. I mean, even 67 rated cards, 66 rated cards are like 13,500 VC. And now if I go to the VC, if I want to purchase, I don't want to spend time playing MyFaction. It's very lengthy process. Now $9.99 to get 32,500 VCs. So $9.99 will get me around 2 characters, 2 Persona characters. And again, these are the normal versions. Maybe the Persona characters will be way more expensive. So I'll have to be playing $9.99 maybe for one single character, the persona character, not a unique character that is not there in the game. So it is again a trap, and I mean, I think the rich people will of course go ahead and get everything they want, but for me, I will, I think, keep away, because all that time given to this it's not a very enjoyable mode. That online feature is, I mean, gameplay and the things are not like a FIFA Ultimate Team, right? So FIFA Ultimate Team on the whole is very enjoyable, but not so with MyFaction. So I will, you know, try and keep away from MyFaction until and unless they give me a very lucrative unlockable. So though improved from last year, I don't think that MyFaction is really worth playing as yet. So I'll give MyFaction a 5 on 10. I'll give MyFaction a 5 on 10, right? Now coming to MyGM. Now MyGM has a lot of improvements this year. I haven't personally started the mode as yet, but like last year, I mean, they had okay, MyGM and my universe, I mean, both together would have actually made a solid mode, but again, they are still separate. So from last year, they have added a few things, but that still does not make MyGM a very playable mode as of now, because see, the DLCs will be releasing very late, like in November. That Mr. Perfect Lex Luger DLC will be coming in November, and if I go by that, if I start MyGM now, those DLC characters will not be added in my GM save. So if I have to play with those characters, I'll have to start MyGM all over again, I think. That is the way MyGM works. It's not like universe mode that whenever a character releases, you can just add the character in one of your, you know, either SmackDown or Raw or NXT or whatever. In MyGM, it does not work like that. Once your pool is selected at the start of the MyGM, that is the kind of roster you have. That applies also for the created wrestlers. Once you have a created wrestler added to the MyGM draft pool, you cannot delete that created wrestler. And right, so it's all very difficult. So MyGM, the mode with promos and all is enjoyable, right? But I don't think this is as yet the foolproof mode. I mean, a combination of, and also you cannot play the gauntlet match, the Royal Rumbles and all. You cannot do all that with MyGM. So it's still a kind of restrictive for me. So I will go ahead and give MyGM a 6 out of 10. I'll give MyGM a 6 out of 10. Now coming to MyRise. I had played MyRise and I had completed that mail story once, but my files got corrupted and I had to play it all over again. And I didn't play the full thing this time, and last time that I played, I didn't know how to unlock Zero, that alter ego version of Xavier Woods. So this time I searched on YouTube, and after the first year, there is an option if you want to be enemies with The Miz or you want to be allies with him. You had to be an ally, so that is the way you get into the up, down, down portion of the story, and that is how you unlock Xavier Woods. But I played the MyRise once again to unlock the Xavier Woods, because I thought that version of Xavier Woods will be playable in every other version of the game, but that is not the case. That Xavier Woods only unlocked for the MyFaction. I got a Xavier Woods MyFaction card, and that is it. There is no Zero in the roster. I can also go to the Xavier Woods. As you can see, there is no Zero here. So all my time, I wasted my time twice on MyRise, and to be honest, these stories are boring. I mean, last year the lock was kind of interesting, and they had nice unlockables. Like they unlocked that Jean-Paul Vesque, the older version of Triple H, and a few other unlockables that were actually usable in other modes. But this year, the only character that you unlock from the MyRise thing is Zero, and that is also locked to MyFaction. And the mail story is outright boring, because you'll have to play through those matches and just for the rewards, for the unlockables, nothing else. The women's story is comparatively better, but marginally. I would not play My Rise if like you want those unlockables desperately and you're dying to play with. I don't think, I mean, again, I'm not rating these portions of the game very good, so just don't judge me by that. This game is still one of the best WWE games I've ever played. But coming to this My Rise section of the game, I would give it a very harsh 3 out of 10. It's utterly boring. It's utterly boring. Now coming to My Universe. My Universe is still the best mode to play the game in. Yes, not too many things were added to this version of the game. I understand. But still, even without those additions, this universe, I think 2K ignores this portion of the game because this portion was actually introduced by THQ in those THQ days. Now the thing is, My Universe and MyGM together would have made a terrific, I mean, if you can amalgamate those two modes, I mean, you can have those GMs and still have the flexibility of the My Universe modes. That would be great. But as of now, Universe mode was good last year, and this is a bit better this year. But then again, if you see, I hate that rivalry system. I utterly hate it. I mean, if you just put on that, you should be able to select your allies and your foes, and it should be randomly. The story should, the progress should be random, right? Keeping in consideration your allies and your foes. But here in the universe mode, that is not very consistent, and also that rivalry thing screws up everything, I think. So I mean, year on year, I mean, match after match, you get that same rivalry thing, and also your tag team matches becomes single matches. So you'll have to again remove the rivalries and things like that. So that is a big drawback for the universe mode, and also there are no promos. Because once again, I'm telling you, if you just call it MyGM, I mean, if you have the problem 2K with the universe name, call it MyGM and amalgamate those two modes together. I mean, they'll be phenomenal, I think, together. All the good things from both the modes, and just let's go. I mean, you can have all 4 selected as humans, all from make it 5 general managers and make them all human, or 4 CPU, 1 human, whatever you want. But without these 2 modes separate are very half-hearted as yet. I mean, they are good. Universe mode is still good, but I'll play it. I'm not saying that I'll not play it or anything like that. I will play it, but I will still have a lot of expectations left from the mode. This could have been way better than it is now. Right, so I will give universe mode a 6 on 10. Now, coming on to the showcase mode. The showcase mode, I had played and completed every match in the showcase mode, and then my file got corrupt. So what I did next time was I just played every game, but I did not finish any of the objectives. I just defeated my opponent and the matches. And because I had the 40 Years of Wrestlemania version, all the characters already came unlocked. But the arenas, they were locked, right? And the arenas are like very good. Daytime WrestleMania 31 arena, then WrestleMania 39, I think, daytime arena, 35, I don't know. They are very good. So I had to unlock the arena. So I just played through all the matches and just defeated my opponent. The entire thing was completed in half an hour. So I did that. I am yet to finish this once again, that last Royal Rumble match. Because here you can see there are 30 and that one last thing that is empty, you can see there are 29. That was Brock Lesnar. So he is very much there in the showcase mode. I also have him in the main game because I've downloaded him and downloaded the actual in-game mode. I'll come to that later. Now this showcase mode, it's all about unlocking. I mean, there is a bit of nostalgia, the videos of older things, and yes, if you I did not dislike the showcase mode, but it's not that I loved the mode. It's nice. You get to see all the legends and you get to live the nostalgia, and the way the game, the showcase progresses from match 1 to match 2 to 3. If you just keep on playing, you'll actually feel how the world, how the audience has changed, how the wrestlers have changed, and that time aging thing is very well recreated in the showcase mode. And if you have bought the normal version of the game, the unlockables are definitely worth it. They are amazing. So showcase mode, I think it's well worth it. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Though, for me personally, I had a 40 Years of Wrestlemania version. I just played it for the arenas. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Now coming to the roster. The roster this year round is phenomenal. It's simply phenomenal. Yes, there are still a few characters missing. Brock Lesnar is like locked to the showcase mode and things like that. But the roster as such is phenomenal. And the DLCs that are coming are also terrific. But I have one problem with the DLC. That is, they are coming very late. Like by end of December, we are through with playing WWE 2k24. We'll already be talking and thinking about WWE 2k25. Now if that DLC comes in mid-November, so like only 1.5 months, that is all we get to enjoy those DLCs. So I don't know if they're planning to postpone 2k25 or maybe maybe scrap it and go completely next gen with WWE 2k26. That would be good actually. We'll get a better life for this game, and so that is it. I love the roster. I love the DLC characters. Yes, some characters are missing, but still, some will of course be not be there. But as such, this roster is terrific. It has to be one of the best rosters of any WWE games ever, right? Okay, I do miss Goldberg because Brock Lesnar, there was a hidden model, so I got it through the community creations. But Goldberg, I'll have to settle for some sort of community creations, and without the body morphing in the creation suit, it'll be difficult to create a very realistic version of Goldberg. So still, the roster is phenomenal, guys. There is no two ways about it. This has to be one of the best rosters of any WWE 2K games ever. So I'll rate the roster a solid 9 out of 10, including the DLCs. Now, creation suit. Creation suit is it is a bit improved from last year. It's not a revolution or anything like that. It is just a bit improved from last year. Now, as you can see, I have downloaded a couple of Brock Lesnar versions and the Demon Finn Balor. That's a what's the status model. And like I have two versions of Brock Lesnar here. I have downloaded both of them from the community creations. These are actual in-game models, though that those tattoos on the body, I think the creator could not remove them for this. But the hairstyle, she is actually, and this is the other model. So I had to download them from the community creations because that is the only way I could play with Brock Lesnar. These models have all the entrances, Trinitrons, two different Trinitrons for both the Brock Lesnar models, and different move sets as well. So as you can see, community creation, this is not a created model, this is a downloaded model actually. The creation suit is better, but there is no body morphing, right? So without body morphing, getting those typhoons, or maybe if you are a Brodus Clay fan, a Tyrus model and all, or a Mabel, without body morphing, getting those models are very difficult. And also they have like not given added a few hairstyles to the creation suit, like the Harley Race hairstyle, the Muhammad Ali hairstyle. I was actually expecting them to be there in the creation suit because that would have made creating a Pedro Morales or legends like that very easy. But then they are not there. So I am happy, and the community, what's the status, Honcho's Legends, Iconic 2K, Icons of the Ring, Dr. Gorilla Nuts. They are doing phenomenal job on there are many others. I don't know them maybe personally, or I don't know their IDs, but they are doing a phenomenal job in the community. They are the ones who are keeping the games alive. And but there is a problem when Brian Wilson, I forgot his name, the person from WWE 2K, he was asked about why just restricted to 100 slots, creation slots. That is a bummer. I mean, and he said 100 is a lot. I understand 100 is a lot, but when the community is so phenomenal as the WWE 2K, I mean, community creations community, 100 is nothing, dear. 100 is, dude, nothing. I mean, at least a 200 or 300, I mean, 500 would be great. Because there are like thousands of wonderful creations on the community creations pages. They are phenomenal. Right. So, 100 is a lot. But for this particular game, for the WWE franchise, it's hardly anything. So, I think they could have easily, what they could have done is given us, more slots for the PC and the next gen console versions, because this 100 thing and 1000 images cap is mostly for the older gen consoles, because they cannot handle that save file sizes. So that is one bummer for me. And body morphing, because without body morphing it's very difficult to get some unique body types. Goldbergs, Typhoons, Mabels, I mean, Big Daddy V's, the Tyruses, there are many more. Just these names are coming to my mind, so I'm telling them. So yes, so these two are definite bummers. I mean, if you can see the legends, Honcho's Legends 84769. I mean, if you can see the work he's already doing with the Legends game, is the normal version of the game is just out yesterday, and already he has done such a phenomenal job with the creations. So also Dr. Gorilla Nuts, he's collaborating with other, as you can see, I mean, Ric Flair was also very good last year in the community. I'll show you on Anderson. For the love of the community, I would love to give this section of the game a 10 on 10, but it is not the community that is holding this section back. It is 2K who's holding this section back. When they know that this section of the game is so very popular, I mean, why just restrict it to 100 slots, right? I mean, 100, what is wrong? Still a day back, these pages were opening in a flash, right? See, you can see the quality of creations already, and the game is just a day old. So, community creations, for the community, it's a 10 on 10. But for the 2K, for the 100 slots only, for the 1000 images cap only, for no body morphing, I will give it an 8 out of 10. That is 10 out of 10 for the community and 6 out of 10 for 2K. Right. So, I'm averaging it to 8 out of 10. For the community creations. Now, coming to the match types, this game has, I mean, wonderful match types. I mean, if you can see, it's normal, casket match, ambulance match, special guest referee match, and so many things. I actually love the kind of matches we have this time. There is blood and things like that. Everything is so good. The gameplay is very fluid. I'll come to the gameplay later, but the match types are terrific. But there is still one thing that is missing, intergender matches. Okay, I know, but there is this guy. There is this guy. I'll show you. Scripps. I've seen him fight with women in the WWE ring. So if you are actually allowing a man to fight a woman in your rings, why not just bring it onto the game? Because that would make these games way more fun. And also we have a combination of so many more characters, so many more tag teams, mixed tag teams, right? So There is an AEW Fight Forever may be a horrible game. It is a horrible game. But it does a few things better than WWE 2K series. And one of them is intergender matches. Right, and also this mixed tag team matches, it's half-hearted because there is no mixed tag team championships. Right. So, if you can, title management, there is no mixed tag championships. Tags, either women or men. So, if you are actually serious about the mixed tag, there is also no mixed tag championships in actual WWE thing. But again, this is a game, so you have added these, weird, stupid, irrelevant championships from the My Rise. I didn't even unlock it this time, next time round. See, these championships will only unlock. I mean, come on, for the game's sake, at least add a few mixed tag championship belts. And, please, when you go next gen, maybe, hopefully next year, just make those intergender matches happen. That is the way to go, guys. So, match types, I'm very happy with the match types that we have. But because there is no intergender matches, I will just go and give it an 8. I was actually hoping. Gameplay, one word for it, is phenomenal. Just play it on the legend difficulty level, because otherwise, with time, it will be very easy for you to win. Just play every match type alone or with your friend who was actually good, or just play the universe mode in the legend difficulty level, and the game is phenomenal. It has blood, it's very fluid. There are glitches, but it's a body contact game. There will be a bit of glitches here and there, and they hardly matter. So the gameplay, I think, is phenomenal. I just love the gameplay this year. 2K19 had did a few things better. You could alter the speed of the gameplays and all, but this year I think it feels a bit more weightier than 2K23, and that also makes the game feel a bit more simulation. So I think gameplay. I love this gameplay. This has to be. I'm not happy with the movesets of many of the wrestlers, but gameplay is phenomenal. I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. And this gameplay, I rated it last because this is also the most important feature of the game, right? The gameplay. So yes, and coming on to the overall the game, I'm most concerned about the roster thing, the community creations, and the gameplay. And if you can see the MyFaction, MyGM, MyRise universe and all showcase, these are things I'm not very serious about. So if I have to rate the game personally, I'll rate it on the gameplay, on the roster, on the community creations, right? So if I have to rate this game overall, there is a problem. I already had my save files corrupted, so I created a backup system for my files. So whenever you are playing it, if you're playing it on the PC, Steam, go to Program Files, x64, Steam, user data, your user ID, then 2315690. That is the folder where you go, and then you copy both the files and keep a backup of it as you make a bit of progress, because you get all your save files corrupt, and then you get compensated by some stupid MyFaction cards, which is a mode I would hardly play, right? So that does not make any sense to me at all. So guys, I will rate this game an overall 8.5. I'm very happy with the gameplay, and I'm just hoping that next year there are more core slots, creation slots, and this universe mode and the GM mode is fused together to create one hell of a mode, right, with promos and everything, and the flexibility to add and remove stars from the system, created wrestlers from the system and all. And guys, please do subscribe to the channel Universe, because we really need more subscribers, and so that we have again started newly putting on some videos, and just a bit of help from you would be so wonderful. Thank you in advance, guys, and have a wonderful day ahead.